Okay, so y'all might remember that I've tried this kind of shell in a couple of different ways before. Um, the last time we played a build like this, maybe it's best if I open up the Mox field. Let me open up the Mox field. So the last time I tried to play this kind of build, I was interested in trying to like set up for Flayer of Duplication on a big Conflagrate. And I was playing Root Wallet to like Madness Away, and I was thinking, oh, I could also sack Arclight Phoenix to like copy the big Flayers. And I was able to successfully do this a few times, and it was really, really cool when I set up for like Loam, and then I would Conflagrate X equals 7, and I would copy it with I would copy with Flare, and I would feel really good. But the deck was really fragile and clunky and very, very soft to counter Magic. And so, I decided to kind of circle back to the idea. And, this is kind of like a persistent thought in my head, is that Faithless Looting is such a powerful card. It's such a powerful card, and I think there's just so much you can do with it that it's kind of sad to me that the main thing you do with it is put in Grixis Reanimator. The Hollow One decks I think were maybe a little bit underplayed. I will say that Boros Delirium deck we were playing, our record with that shell is still like phenomenal. We should probably play some more of it. The VV Cauldron deck has been testing really well, but I've been looking at the Dredge. I've just been looking at Dredge, and longtime viewers of the channel know I don't like Dredge very much. I think that the gameplay is really uninteractive and uninteresting, but I also try not to let my archetypal biases stop me from exploring and try to maximize deck lists too. But I'm looking at like these older deck lists, and I think I had this thought that the biggest problem with these builds is just that they're very, very slow. Like when your threat base is really revolving around like Narked Amoeba and Prized Amalgam, you are just not killing your opponent quickly enough in this modern format. In this build, I've been killing my opponents on turn 3 a lot. Just the ability to like dump your deck into your graveyard and then immediately get your Arclight Phoenixes back by flashing back Lava Darts. That's the big thing, is you dredge a bunch, you mill some Phoenixes, you mill some Creepy Chills, you Lava Dart, you get some Phoenixes in play, and then sometimes you set up for big Conflagrate too with the Loam to finish your opponents off. This is very much a very weird burn deck. You are, instead of how Dredge kind of typically would play, where you would just get a bunch of really recursive creatures into play, you're creeping chilling them, and you're lava darting them, and you're conflagrating them, and Phoenix is also very much like a burn spell where it just flies over everything on the ground. It's kind of like extra copies of Creeping Chill in a lot of ways. And the deck has just been very good for me so far. We're 3-0 in this league. I've played a few different versions, also off stream, that have all gone pretty well. And they consider Highway Robbery for the plot. The robbery is like I think much worse than these. Like this, you have these 2-mana discard first, then draw 3s. Yeah. So let's get in there. We're 3-0 right now. Let's get a trophy prediction going. What is the reason for no Lauren revealed in VV? Tap lands are very, very, very high opportunity costs, and a deck that's trying to go 1 to 2 to 3. You also, it doesn't really feel like you need the extra card draw sources to churn through your deck. All right. I need a mulligan looting triple Phoenix, but not actually a good hand in this deck. Going to 4. We do mulligan to 4 pretty well. Although this one needs to draw land. Not actually very good mull to 4. I think it's good to keep at least the first good card to discard for value. Would pack be terrible? Probably. You're not very good at like just holding stuff like that in your hand. Thanks, Dredge Guy. Yeah, so we can bring in Silent Gravestone now against the K Command decks. The good old upkeep stuff. Why do people do this? Archetype Memory looking good back at his Shadow of Mortality, Calibrated Blast, now with Cecil and Looting. So there's a new card in Spider-Man that's basically a better Calibrated Blast. I mean, I'm not in favor of like big sweeping power level errata like that, Mag, for whatever it's worth. All right, let's draw land or go to next game. Okay. Not time for next game yet. You should have upkeep stop on this because I'm playing Vintage Q previously. I mean, I know some people just play with upkeep stops, but I just don't know how some people live their life like upkeep stop and I'm just going to wait a full minute on my opponent's first turn. You know, with literally no game act. Maybe they had Fatal Push available or something, but there's just, I don't know. It is like all X's token. Okay, they exile the Conflagrate main phase with the Cling to Dust here. See if this resolves. People do other things with playing. Yeah, I can be a little annoyed. I agree. This is also why it's so boring, is we even just like spend so much time talking about, they could be watering the plants, or they could be picking up a package, or they could be, you know, hanging out with their grandmother. It's just, we have the same conversation over and over and over again because we're bored. Alright, so I have cast 2 spells this turn. The Cathartic Reunion and the Looting. I have 2 Phoenixes in the yard. Alright, we're turning things around here. I'm pretty sure the new Calibrated Blast can hit lands. Well, that's not a problem if we're setting it up with Witch's Cottage, which is the plan with that card. Like, you can go, like, even just Troll of Khazad-dûm, you can go like Witch's Cottage, Troll to the top, put the Troll back in your hand, cycle Troll for Witch's Cottage, put Troll back on top, deal them 12 damage over the course of 2 turns. That seems like kind of a good, like, bottom of the line. And the fact that it's a black enabler in the Witch's Cottage deck opens it up a bunch. I don't know what it's called, though. The only max in the 43 months. Thank you. Welcome back. All right, well, they discard 2 cards to draw an extra card here. They discard a Tamio, and then they discard a Kaito. Then they draw 2. They're at 6. Let's dredge an Imp. We hit a Loam that we can dredge next turn. Am I going to be getting... Yeah, I think it seems worthwhile to try to put them to the 3, so that a Creeping Chill is going to be lethal. They do have access to Cling to Dust, but if they're just holding up only Cling to Dust mana next turn, that should be pretty worthwhile. I do believe they have released the digital only Spider-Man cards, yeah. Again, I don't know what it's called. But yeah, Parker Luck, yeah. It's a 3-mana enchantment that, like, at your end step, it Calibrated blasts both players, and then you draw the card. So it's kind of like a and so you deal damage to the opponent equal to the amount of the mana value revealed. And in theory, if you're flipping Sign of Dracos and Troll of Khazad-dûms and Shadow of Mortalities, it can kill your opponent really quick. It's cool that it's like a recurring Calibrated Blast too. If you're playing Leyline Scion in your deck, then the damage doesn't matter very much, and then also the Shadow Shadow can be cast faster because you're dealing yourself damage potentially. I don't have like the highest hopes ever for the card, but I think it sounds kind of fun. Okay, dredging the Loam. See if they counter the Loam. They have a swamp blue source up, so it's not going to be the easiest for them to counter. But they do force pitching Subtlety. They don't have enough cards in the graveyard anymore for Cling to Dust. But they can just go discard a card, activate the frog, kill me. Dang, I thought we were going to bounce back after the multiform. Okay, so their graveyard hate should be a combination of Surgical, the Cling to Dust, and then sometimes Nile Spellbomb. So the Silent Gravestone is good against the Surgicals and the Cling. The Nile Spellbomb, I think it's okay to some extent to just have the attitude of, we can try tanking this. I think I'm going to bring in the Gravestones. We now have the Gemstone Caverns, so we can start bringing that in on the draw too. On the play for game 2, with a solid 7 this time. Hoping not to get our reunion snared, I guess. Okay, now we're going to Thoughtseize the reunion instead. See what we can surveil into. Thanks, Thoughtseize bug. think I'm going to discard both Dredgers instead of discarding the Phoenix this turn. Okay, Force of Negation, pitching Kaito. I did not add the Blood Crypt. I don't know if I believe the Blood Crypt is optimal. At the very least, it shouldn't be a big deal. Yeah, it would be kind of okay against them. Okay, they Cling to Dust the Imp, which is I believe the worst target. I think I would much rather have the Loam in this kind of spot. Maybe they have another Force of Negation. Okay, they do have another Force of Negation and another blue card. They only have one card left in their deck, in their hand though, and drawing up to 2. That's a good reason to take the Imp. Preordained, they put 2 cards on the top, then they play Darkslick Shores, and they pass the turn, so maybe he has a counter spell. If yeah, there's not really anything I could surveil into that I'd be casting right now. I guess one thing is I could just put a Phoenix into play. I could go dart them, Conflagrate them, flashback a dart. I think I'll wait like a turn. Just like the ability for my ability to like dredge over a looting is just like so valuable if I can do that. Also, they might play a frog. If they play a frog, I can kill the frog. Or I can just draw this and then be in on this instead. Maybe they have a snare. Be a little bit annoying, but at least we don't have to discard these 2 cards. It's not the best draws, but we can deal 2 damage here, and then if they save it with their frog discard, then we just dart it. Gonna be casting the dart anyways. Okay, which they know. Right, I've cast Thrilling Discovery and Conflagrate, so just flash the dart back and then get in there. Avert, the 42, welcome back. They've got 2 cards in their hand. They do have a Cling to Dust in the yard, enough cards to escape, but they need a 4th mana to actually utilize that. They do have another frog. They don't have the best blocks here, though. Find a looting, which is great. They'll have a dart in the yard, and we also build another Phoenix. So we'll discard. We could bring back the other Phoenix this turn. The problem is if we do that, then we lock ourselves out of having Loam available. So I think I'm gonna discard Imp and then discard Dart. So next turn I can dredge the Imp and then I can go flashback the Loam and try to be bringing the Phoenix back. I'm gonna attack here. I know that unlocking the card from my opponent's frog is not necessarily the best, but every 3 damage is so valuable. Harbinger, turning everything into islands, is very good against me. Did not play around that very well. So I have two Creeping Chills left in the deck. If I can hit them here, then we just have still those Creeping Chill outs. They also have no black mana themselves. Might have been right to just double dart them in response. I don't know. Could they leave the frog back? Dredge the Thug. Have another Thug. It's important to keep the Dredge train rolling here. Yeah, it's a good reason to not sack the basic mountain to the dart for game 3 if we get there. Phoenix holding it down. We milled a Stinkweed Imp. On the bottom. They find their basic swamp, which is pretty unlucky because they've got the Cling up. That's, I think, going to lock us out here. Maybe they'll forget about the Cling. Massive Ox, I'm Harbinger locked is the problem. Bummer. That's the short answer. Okay, put Creeping Shield back in the deck. like a lot of like the new affinity builds, they don't care as much about the Stony Silence effects, right? So you have your Kappa Cannoneers and you have your Pinnacle Emissaries that make a really big board that's kind of hard to deal with. And like Stony Silence isn't as good as like against the beatdown builds, but Wrath of Skies kills the little stuff and then stops them from kind of being able to assemble the bigger stuff too. Yeah, it is nice that Arya is not. I think in this spot it's better if even if they have a counter spell, we just want to get the dredging going, so we're okay with them countering this, and they don't have a counter spell, which is good. And we don't mill any Phoenixes or Creeping Chills, but the good news about that is the rest of them are still gonna be in the deck here. What do you think about Anti-Venom and Blue-White Energy? I don't remember the Anti-Venom card looking like a modern playable card to me. If you want to link it, I can take a look. Maybe it's something I overlooked. Gonna get started on the video soon. So many different builds of these Blink decks. So like unclear what the best build is. Oh, that's the is it 5 mana or 4 mana? Anti-Venom. I think I know which card you're talking about now. So finally found a Phoenix. Another Creeping Chill. Another Creeping Chill. And another Phoenix. So I can go for double dart. Go for double dart and attack for 6. If I had one more Phoenix, I could go for lethal, but I do think that we'll just, conflagrate them for 8 next turn. Maybe we get counterspell. They have milled over a lot of their counter magic. Okay, so 5 mana, all white. When it enters, if it was cast, return creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If damage would be dealt to Anti-Venom, prevent that damage with them any counters. This is an interesting card. I think that the quintuple white is really tough, but it does seem like for 5 mana to like bring back a Solitude and have this effect, that doesn't seem like something that you just could never ever do. It seems like something that you would play like, yeah, maybe in the blue-white energy deck sideboard you could play like a copy of this. But the thing is, it's also like this. It would mostly be good in the Blink mirrors, and its ability is not that good in the Blink mirror, so that dynamic's a little bit weird too. All right, so they only have 1 card in their hand at the moment, so it seems unlikely that they're going to be able to force a negation me. I guess they get to draw 2 more here. And the Vestige deck might be easier to bring into play. Not with your Eldrazi Temples. I would disagree there. If you have a quintuple white card in your deck, every single land in your deck needs to tap for white. Outlast Dredge, not finding anything super relevant. We can just burn them out without even phoenixing them here. If they do have Force Blue card as 2 of their last 3 cards, it's obviously not ideal, but we actually still win. Because we get to go double dart, bring back 2 Phoenixes, which is 8. Instead, they have a Solitude, which is also not enough to save them here. Oh, wait, hold on. They have 2 flying blockers. Sorry, I don't know why I forgot about the flying blockers. So it's still 2 Phoenixes are still hiding in the deck. How many Creeping Chills have I used? I still have 1 in the deck. So if I double dart them, I fly in twice. Yeah, it seems like we just. If I was playing a big modern tournament tomorrow, would I still run Titan? I think I would still play Titan if I was going to be like prepping for the Pro Tour that's coming up. It's like Titan is very, very good against Boros. I think it's not great against the Reanimator builds, which is kind of concerning, but I think it's very good against Blink. I think it's very good against Boros. And I think that even in your bad matchups, like it seems like it's something that you could tech for and have a good angle. I think I would maybe also be looking at Ruby Storm. Ruby Storm is like one that I would feel like I would need to play like hundreds and hundreds of reps with it, which I guess you want to have with all of your Pro Tour decks anyways, of course. But there's so much variance with that deck. You just need to have. I would want like the whole testing team to be really hammering away at it. Yeah, so Ox can dredge the entire deck. The problem is that I need to cast an instant or sorcery first if I'm going to um, get the Phoenixes back. So if I dredge Imp and then I flash back Conflagrate, I deal them 1. I guess that's just worse than lava darting. Okay, I did find the 3rd Phoenix. Oh my gosh, sorry. I thought I had green mana in play this whole time. Okay, we can still go for the kill. But we should have dredged the Imp. I'm not playing Dark Blast, which it's nice that it's a spell. The problem with Dark Blast though is that like it's an extra color in the mana base, which is a little bit difficult to add. So we'll see if 3 Phoenixes are good enough here. It's also possible we could leave them back to block that. Okay, they were good enough. I was gonna attack. Okay, so we're gonna bring in a Gemstone Caverns on the draw. Interested in probably just cutting a fetch land for a Gemstone. Now I imagine most of their graveyard is gonna be graveyard or artifact. Their graveyard hate is gonna be artifact based, and also maybe Emperor of Bones. Maybe they have Graveyard Trespasser. Maybe they have Surgical and the Esper Blink builds. Let's look at the list. Fancy Fist with the 15 months. Thank you. Welcome back. I like these Blink builds are still like all over the place. It's like some of them are playing Ketramos. I don't think this build is playing Ketramos. So it looks like this build doesn't really have a lot. Let's look at Namor Squad's build. It's probably maybe more stock. So just like Ashiok's on the board, which I think we can maybe try to dodge. This one has 2 Relic in the main. I would definitely be testing DRC in the hypothetical storm list. I don't know. I would be testing all the builds. I think only 1 Riddler is probably not the build. So Emperor, Trawler, maybe just not a lot of graveyard hate overall. High Noon seems a little bit scary. Like I think Artist Talent is playable. I do think at the moment I do think DRC is still better than Artist Talent. Like I really like where it fits on the mana curve better. And I like how it lets you combo off even if you're hellbent, which happens a lot. But Artist Talent's also like good and powerful. I like that it can be a Ruby as well, although a very slow one. But like the real answer is that I just couldn't tell you the build I'd play without a lot of testing, which doesn't seem like something I'll be doing is testing a lot of Modern Storm anytime soon. Okay, so we're on the draw against a Multi 5, just mulling aggressively for whatever hate they have. Yeah, you can post Gab's Tamashi list. I always like seeing his builds. Have you played against or tested an affinity build with emissary weapons and time sieve? Yes and yes. That's kind of like honestly like almost ancient tech at this moment, despite it only being a couple months ago. It feels like that's ancient tech. So we're probably going to be playing this a little bit slower so that I can go get a 3rd land, so I'm not like I can unlock the Loam. So next turn instead of going for Thrilling Discovery, we just like Loam back Mire after getting Stomping Ground and dredging the Imp, and then the next turn we can go Thrilling Discovery plus looting. So we're gonna get to discard a card to hand size, which should probably be the Imp. Well, maybe they're gonna counter this. Not countering this. Can Tamashi bring back Football Creator? Oh, can. Cool. It's cool tech. The more things change, the more they stay the same, huh? It does seem like they have the Force of Negation in their hand, most likely. So maybe I want to be baiting the Force on the looting. Dredge the Imp. Dredge a Loam. Discard. Do I have any darts? I have one dart in the yard, and I've already cast a spell. Let's do them. Not really very scared of Thraben Charm. I can't escape the Ox. I think it's a bit better to play the Thrilling Discovery first, because I have to discard the whole hand when I escape the Ox. So, like, maybe this gets Force of Negation, but then I still get to bring my Phoenixes back. They force Pitching Force. So we flash back a Dart so we can bring back our Phoenixes. 2 in the yard at the moment. Interesting they didn't hardcast the Force. Is Nature's Claim better than Ray of Revelation? I think it is because it's like you really could never mill over Ray of Revelation for value and like flash it back. Because like when you're bringing in Ray of Revelation, it's almost always against the decks that have either Rest in Peace or Leyline the Void. Plage, or they're playing, you know, like Catchermosa, you want Relic, I guess. Or you're playing, you know, already main deck Emperor and Trawler, so you don't need a lot of Graveyard Tape. It is really nice when you do get to play Rest in Peace. It does happen sometimes still in the brewing. Okay, now we get to looting on turn 1. We're on the draw against an Underground Mortuary. Although maybe it's better to be like in these spots saving the looting for turn 3. Could be possible. Probably not. Oh yeah, Birthing Ritual attack. Alright, so we'll Dredge a Thug. Build a Phoenix. If they're playing this, they probably have Force of Negations in the deck. They might not have one in the hand. Honestly, could even, like, I feel like some players might just not be familiar with a lot of the Dredge cards. Like, Dredge has been out of the metagame for quite some time now. Next turn, we can Conflagrate for 6 or 7 if we want to play the land first. Probably do want to play the land first. Imagine we don't need to try to be too fast against this opponent game 1. Still have 3 Creeping Chills in the deck too. Wooded Foothills is really interesting. Does that mean they are... Oh, I guess that must mean they're 4 colors, right? But like non-white. Like, how do they land on like black cards in this deck? They stack their triggers wrong. I've done that too. Nice that it comes around, you know. We stack our triggers wrong one time and or 2 times. Who's counting? Okay, still no Ox. Still no Ox and only 1 Phoenix, so let's chill. I guess it's probably still fine to Conflagrate for a bunch. Like I could just dump my entire hand and I can still like flashback looting next turn if I don't find anything better. Cosmic Wife? It'd be weird to play Cosmic Wife in a Birthing Ritual deck. But stranger things have happened. We also Dredge Loam and Conflagrate again for like a little one, although flashing back the looting seems way better with all these Stinkweed Imps and still 3 Phoenixes and 3 Creeping Chills in the deck and only 25 cards. Seems like they have a Force. Maybe they're just reading. There's an all access token on Magic Online right now. I'm sure that some of y'all are interested in that. So you can buy the token and then you can play whatever you want. So we may see like an influx of newer players who are playing their brews and stuff and are a little less familiar with the Magic Online interface. Yeah, I mean they could be splashing for Frog, and the Wooded Foothills is very weird if they're just Sultai. Like I could almost never imagine that being like the correct land to play in just a Sultai deck. Um, and like Frog is also not a very good card in Birthing Ritual typically. Flip a flip. We'll probably see more Riddler deck. The card is 100 ticks. It's 100 ticks. I had to buy some for like an earlier stream. I did make like 5 ticks on each of them, but it's good. It's good that they have the all access so people can play decks though. Yeah, I think it's either 10 or $20. I haven't bought one for this one. Okay, so they have find an Oculus. I'm gonna lock in on flashing back the looting this turn instead of Loam conflagrating. So let's dredge the Imp. Still no Ox either. So 2 Oxes, 3 Creeping Chills, and 3 Phoenixes in the bottom 20 here. Dredge an Imp. So there's 2 Phoenixes. And there's 2 Creeping Chills. So they are just dead to a Lava Dart now if these Creeping Chills resolve. And we also have 3 Phoenixes coming down. Not that we're that likely to need it. Here's a Lava Dart. I like seeing Ritual and Riddler together. I do think Riddler is really good in the Simic Ritual deck. I think it needs to see more play. All right, opponent will maybe force a negation the looting next time. Take a break from Mars until the price goes down. Well, there's an all access token out that you can play. Although you can also take a break. That's allowed. Okay, so they're probably going to have Endurance as their Graveyard Hate of choice, which is actually just kind of like fine. Just get to keep churning for the most part. Not really the toughest. Gravestone does not stop it. Ground Seal would, so reason to play that one instead. It's kind of I guess it's kind of a weird hand where we have both of our mountains, so I think I might mulligan this just because the double mountain's so awkward. Our deck does mulligan pretty well. You can mulligan to Oblivion though. People in the Ritual Discord are not very hot at Riddler in the Simic build, as they don't have anything to Riddler into other than other Riddlers. Oh, the thing is, we've had the same dialogue tree, but Riddler into Oculus is still good, and it's as good as Riddler like sacking anything else into an Oculus, and maybe this is not that obvious or whatever, but Riddler into Riddler is really, really good. And it's also like Riddler's just like a good card to cast in your deck too. Like the card quality of Quantum Riddler compared to like Ice Fang and like the other Ice Fang it's pretty low. It's the card quality is way higher. And also like one issue with Simic Ritual is that like you can struggle sometimes to have power and toughness in play. And you can struggle on board a lot if you get behind, and so like Riddler is just a good way to do that. So yeah, I think it's like even just like a logical fallacy to feel like it's like I had the same thought too. So it's like I'm not getting max value out of Birthing Ritual my Riddler in this deck, so I'm gonna play whatever the other one is. I'm gonna play the the 2 mana look at the top card. I can't believe I can't believe I forgot the name of that card, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Nice. Coiling Oracle, thank you. Sorry. I've cast a lot of Coiling Oracles in my time. But you know what I mean? It's like I'm not getting max value out of my Quantum Riddler, so I'm gonna play Coiling Oracle instead. You know, it is better with Flare, so like there is that, but Riddler just has such crazy upside too. I'm not even like the biggest fan of Flare, like in general these days. Like I think that like you like Force of Negation and Subtlety mostly feel better than Flare. Maybe they're playing Bowmaster in their deck. Yeah, that's another thing. Riddler's just really good if you have a bunch of subtleties and Force of Negations. Your hand just gets really empty. So they reveal an Endurance. So maybe I want to be escaping the Ox so I can just get that out there. Let's Dredge the Thug. We see 2 lava darts. I can kind of sculpt my deck a little bit if I escape the Ox. Alright, so... yeah, I can just kind of get lands out of the deck since I already have 2. And then 1 more card. I don't want to get rid of a Thrilling Discovery. Do I get rid of a Dart? I don't think I could afford... I guess we get rid of a Discovery. No, I guess Discovery is still better than a Cathartic. Yeah, this is weird because usually you exile these first, but because we know there's Endurance, we kind of just want the gas shuffled back in. Okay, so they flare this instead. That's okay. Yeah, I think the other thing is like just splashing white is still something I think that makes a lot of sense. Like if you could play Solitude and Ephemerate in the decks, it's like just it's very good. I don't think you have to play like the Helga version we were playing, but there is like an issue of not having enough white cards for Solitude, which is why we were playing the Helgas. Okay, so they just main phase Endurance. I think that is best possible for me, probably. Now, I guess the Discovery is a little bit worse than the Cathartic Reunion here, because if they can counter this, then we have no way to get these in the yard until we just draw another way. Although they only have 3 cards, so we'll see if they have something else. And then we found the Looting, which is good. Could maybe lead on the Looting to bait the Force Negation. I think with them only having 3 cards, just putting our best foot forward here also seems really fine. Let me know what you would lead on, I guess. There's also the upside of being able to find possibly another land if we loot, although we did exile a bunch of lands for from our deck. They do have the second flare. They're learning. Oracle. Shows us an Ice Fang. 2 other cards in their hand besides that Ice Fang. Get the wheel turning again, huh? It's wild to me so few of these Blinkless are playing Bowmaster. Seems very good. Yeah, I agree that Bowmaster is very good at the moment. Monger 33, thank you, welcome back. There's another Ice Fang. I'm gonna try to probably take this a little bit slower, like maybe just go like Loam Conflagrate next turn. We'll see what they do here. Flashing back a Looting also seems fine, but you know, just getting the extra mana in play is so valuable in the Lava Dart deck, and also for killing the Endurance, then they don't have that much going on. I still have all 4 Creeping Chills in the deck too. Maybe gonna hardcast a Riddler. Mr. Sari, the 53 months, long time subscriber and even longer time lurker. Thank you, Mr. Sari. Good to still see. Yeah, they do hardcast the Riddler. They've got 3 cards in their hand. We're still gonna Dredge the Imp since we've got Loams here. Then there's 2 Creeping Chills to pad that life total. So now they're down to 10. They have 7, 8, 9 points of power in play. I think we just flashback the loot. I think I'm pivoting my attitude here. My life total is just so padded. Okay, so now we have a Phoenix in the yard. They're at 7 life. We're gonna go up to 5 cards in our hand, and then 6 cards in their hand. So it's gonna be 1 short of just a lethal Conflagrate next turn. We can also just get our entire yard dredged if we go Loam into Ox, or just Ox. Do still have another Looting in the yard too. They have 4 cards in their hand. Bit of a flip. It might have another copy of Endurance, of course. So here's the last Creeping Chill, so we'll probably find out. So they probably don't have it if they are letting that resolve. So I've cast 0 spells this turn. So I guess it's a big problem if they... I only have 1 dart. So me only having 1 dart makes it very awkward if they just counter this Loam. I think we live though. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we go to 2 if they counter this. Okay, but now we can put enough spells in the stack to bring the Phoenixes back. Never mind. Sorry. Forgot to do I forgot that we exiled the mountains earlier, and I saw that there were no mountains in the yard, so I thought we were good to go. So we're not good to go, and we can't bring the Phoenixes back. We could have if we had played this. I felt like that was so many turns ago. They don't have another Ice Fang, although we could have emergency darted the Ice Fang. 4, 5, 6, 10. So we go to 1. Yeah, sorry. Not too often that you just look and see no mountains, and you're like, I don't know. I should have remembered to exile all these lands. Opponent seems to be doing some accounting here. We still have also 3 lava darts left in the deck. My opponent makes no attacks. That's interesting. How many Phoenixes do I have in the yard? Okay, and then they can see. Great. Oh, Dredge. Maybe they probably just clicked through the comment there. Gave up. So just, playing some football, punting down the field to each other. I'm gonna mulligan this. Having a creepy chill the hand's always kind of awkward. We have no dredges to discard. We still don't have dredges to discard, but we have to keep this on 6. I'm gonna put back these. The draw against Dimir with this kind of hand can be a little bit awkward, although this is a great draw. Yeah, let's keep this land so that way we can go Cathartic Reunion or Discovery into another one plus a looting on turn 3. I think because we have so many, we should lead on the Discovery. If we really, really wanted to just entomb, if we really, really just wanted to entomb, we could discard the Imp, but I don't think we're that desperate in this spot. Probably a scary hand for them to see with Thoughtseize. Not too often do you see an Elegant Parlor turn 1 and then this is the hand. They do take the Reunion. So let's see if this gets forced. They'd be down to 2 cards if they force this. Looks like they are going to. Pitching a Stern Scolding. They play a Tomio. They've got 2 cards in their hand. So now we can keep the looting still for this turn. So Dredge, Dredge, Dredge. We did hit another Imp in the yard to keep the dredging going with this looting. This is my second spell cast for Phoenixes this turn. So I have only 1 Phoenix. I could flashback a dart to put it into play. And then I could still Ox of Agonas. Although the problem is if I want to Ox of Agonas next turn, I really want to go Loam first, so I can go Loam, Ox, Dart, and then that gets all the Phoenixes back, and I basically can put all 4 into play next turn. So I think we're gonna wait a turn. This is game 1. If this was a sideboard game, maybe prioritizing just getting a Phoenix into play here is more important. Like, I guess the last times we played against Dimir, they have had the main deck Cling, but even the main deck Cling shouldn't be a big concern. Okay, so going for the kill now. Loam, Oxen. Exiling Reunions first. 2, 3, 4, and then 4 more cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4 lands. They do have Counterspell, but let's go ahead and double dart them and double Phoenix them. We still have 2 mana in play to cast an Ox or whatever we want again next turn. Maybe a Conflagrate, and this also makes it to where I guess they could have Fatal Push to have a little bit more life, but if they don't have the Fatal Push as the last card, then they go to 1 and their Delta is turned off, and we still have, I think, 1 more Creeping Chill, if not 2. Their last card is Fatal Push, but honestly, there's not a huge difference between them being at 3 and 1, besides this land being unlocked. Do I still have a dart in the yard? Looks like that. I don't have another dart in the yard. Um, let's search the imp. I think I'm gonna just want to get Ox again here. Pass the Ox. Maybe looting is a bit better. Shouldn't be a huge difference. I leave a land in the yard for a Loam. Probably exile one of the lootings. You know what? Sorry, let's just conflagrate them. Even if they drew a counterspell, they're chump blocking. Yeah. Okay, fine. They have no cards in their hand. They have a clue token and a freshly drawn card. Shouldn't be anything game one that saves them here. Certainly not a Tamiyo. Okay, so we have just another Conflagrate. We'll just do that. No days in this format, and I guess I have the mana to pay anyways. Okay, up a game. Very important to be up a game against Dimir. Like, you're really counting on winning that game one. So I think I am going to bring in the Silent Gravestones. I guess Flare, you know. Oh, then we did the Flare too, because we just have the Phoenixes. Yeah, I'm not playing Flage in this deck. I think it's possible you could play Flage. I think it seems, though, that Ox of Agonas is just almost clearly better than Flage. I think that you could take it that direction, but you're likely just making the deck like significantly slower at that point. And my thesis statement with this build is that the big problem with Dredge builds is that Narcomoeba and Prized Amalgam are they're just very slow cards, and playing the faster cards seems like how you want to build a deck in 2025. I think I mulligan this. It's pretty bad against counter magic. I hate having a Creeping Chill. This hand is better. It's kind of a riskier mulligan though. Crazy think we can play Wrath. Wrath is kind of interesting. I think Ancient Grudge is mostly better for just the artifact decks. We do need to find a land off the looting. Okay, we do. I guess I'll just discard the Creeping Shield now. I might actually cast the darts from hand this game. Yeah, this deck really is a burn deck. It's a very convoluted burn deck, but it absolutely is more of a burn deck than anything else. Did we go down on the Metalwork Colossus weapon manufacturing road? I guess I'm not seeing the synergy there so much. Because, like, the tokens don't discount Metalwork Colossus. So we also have our Mountain in play, so if they play a Harbinger this turn, we could go Dart, Dart, and then play one of these. Or we could just play Cathartic Reunion. The Colossus would be a sack outlet. Okay. I will say that Colossus as a sack outlet is something that I haven't explored super deeply. I also feel like the sack outlet for the munitions tokens isn't that important. Like, okay, they have a Kaito in their hand, maybe. Like, it does seem like potentially, it seems like potentially, okay, maybe not. So he did mill a Phoenix here. One thing I don't like about casting, I guess I could just Cathartic Reunion, because I want to surveil this turn if possible. I guess I should surveil first. It's like the explosives have also. Sorry, what I was trying to say. The engineered explosives has been so good that it's very tough for me to really want to bark up too many trees that aren't engineered explosives for that shell. Okay, I'm not going to double dart to bring back one Phoenix this turn. Sack Munitions and Colossus. Cast Colossus for free. Sack Munitions and Colossus. Oh, I mean, this is assuming you just have another Colossus in the yard. Sack Munitions and Colossus, sack Colossus free. Okay, so it goes infinite, is what you're saying if you have two of them. I mean, that's kind of a cool angle. That is a cool angle. It seems like a lot of setup. Yeah, I thought about playing Arena of Glory with Ox. It's like a little bit weird in the mana base where you want all of your lands to be mountains for Lava Dart. I think that that's more important. But it's certainly a conversation. Okay, getting spell bombs. So maybe we're gonna be bringing in the Ancient Grudges for next game. The goal here is to make sure they get as little value possible for the Nile spell bomb. So I think that involves discarding these two and then just drawing 3, not dredging any. Yeah, you also have to have 11 mana value of artifacts in play. There's just so many pieces. Okay, great. I mean, this is also part of it, is that no one knows how to play against Dredge anymore. I could flashback a couple darts. I think I'm not going to do that in this spot. I could cast a dart. I think I want to be able to get really lucky with my dredges and escape an Ox, though. I did mill an Ox. I don't have enough to escape it. So I still have 3 Phoenixes and 3 Creeping Chills in the deck. They've got 7 cards in their hand, so might be kind of tough to get out of here. There's the Harbinger. We do have Lava Dart or Looting and Lava Dart in the yard. Really not so bad for us. I mean, Thought Monitor 7 or 8 mana. Well, it's the problem with Metalwork Colossus is that it requires non-creature artifacts in play. If it was creature artifacts, Metalwork Colossus would be like, that card would be really, really, really good. Yeah, Retract is also a card that I haven't spent a lot of time with. I have a new Song of Creation build that's like trying to emulate the older Underworld Breach builds. It hasn't been testing super duper good. It's been like fine off stream, but I am just trying to, for like at least like today and tomorrow and hopefully Thursday, I'm just trying to stay away from Eldrazi Temple and Mox Opal. I just kind of need to break from those cards. Colossus would just have affinity. I mean, yeah, more or less. But yeah, it would be just much better than it is. It'd be a tough one to pull off. Last time we played Colossus, Leyline X was doing numbers. Numbers is kind of funny. We won some games. Okay, we're dead to Tommy Ultimus Frog, actually. Let's go to game 3. Okay, so let's go for Grudge over Gravestone. I think just 2 is probably a good number. It was doing high numbers of damage. But my memory of playing Metalwork Colossus last is that on turn 3, I'm like really regularly putting a 11/11 double striker into play, and sometimes I put a Shadow Spear on it. And my recollection is that was like not close to good enough against Boros. It was like that was like an actively bad plan against Boros. Like they not even when my creatures didn't die, they were not powerful enough to just overcome like a Guide and a Pride. Okay, so we're on a build of 4, which isn't ideal. Have I looked into Riftbound at all? I have not. Did you ever try to brew or innovate on the Brood Scale archetype? Yeah. We there was a time where I felt that we had a hardened scales build that was, what was nice about that build was that it was, I think, marginally better against Boros, which I thought was like kind of an interesting angle on the deck. It wasn't a super big deal. So I certainly haven't done anything super groundbreaking there, but we had like one kind of interesting build that I don't think is as good as the current builds anymore. Okay, your turn. Oh, sorry, I forgot to board out the Gemstone. Shouldn't come up, really anymore, but sorry about that. Okay, resolves. Maybe they have a Nile Spellbomb. The speed at which they cast this Thoughtseize is kind of giving Nile Spellbomb. I am really interested in like loaming back a red fetch, getting a mountain, and then also loaming back this mountain. So if they play Harbinger next turn, we don't care as much about it. I don't think we're going to be doing very good against now Spell Bomb anyways. So yeah, let's dredge the Loam. Target Mountain, target Red Fetch, target Red Fetch. This doesn't resolve. Okay. We don't need to worry about it. Because it did resolves. I don't see the red-green Surveil land anywhere, so possible we go for... We will go for that end of turn if they don't play the Harbinger. We're getting Kaito'd? No, please don't Kaito me. Please, 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 please. No. Don't do it, please. Yes, thank you, opponent. Oh, they have to go to blockers. No. Okay, they just keep casting. They just keep casting their second main phase spell in their combat step. Crack a clue. Flip the Tamiyo. I wonder if they had the Kaito, they tried to Kaito, it didn't let them, and they're like, "Welp, let me flip the Tamiyo." We can grudge flashback on the clue token if we just want an extra spell for the Phoenix also. Okay, we do still have the commercial district. A little bit of value. Dredge an Imp. We've done the 26 cards. We have 1, 2, 3 Phoenixes in the yard. So we're definitely going to Conflagrate. It looks like I still have the Mountain in the deck. So I think I want to get that into... Well, yeah. Well, it was just better to go all in on them. So if I go 3, it's 11, and then 2 damage from the darts, puts them down to 8. Yeah, we just have lethal if they don't have Force of Negation. So yeah, let's just dump the imps back in the yard here. We don't have an Ox of Agonas, unfortunately. Okay, so they let it resolve. I think I might as well grudge 1. So this way next turn I could go Loam into Ox. Oh, I forgot about I did forget about the Tamiyo Plus. Or Loam into Conflagrate next turn. I'm going to send everything at them. Putting them to 3 is really good with me still having a bunch of Creeping Chills in the deck. I have all 4 Creeping Chills still in the deck. So it was playing Dredge is funny sometimes, where it's very much glass half empty, glass half full of these spots. You could be like, "Oh, I'm so unlucky, I didn't hit a Creeping Chill yet," or you can be like, "Oh boy, I still have all 4 Creeping Chills to hit." It's just an attitude issue. Out of Conflagrate the Tamiyo for 4, we're in a good spot. I think you for me, I just think of this deck almost like entirely as a burn deck, and I don't think the Tamiyo seems to matter very much here, but maybe I'm missing something here. Thank you for your feedback, of course. Any thoughts on Forgotten Cave? I'm really interested in every land being a mountain for Lava Dart, because it's so often you need to sack all of your lands to Lava Dart, and if one of them is not a mountain, it's really awkward. Okay, we did lose the first round this league, but I don't know. This deck is really nice. We 4-1 the last league. We're playing for a 4-1 again. You know, we're gonna be 7-3 or 8-2 after this match. I don't know. I'm really there's something here. It's the Dredge Cycle Spiker, the part where Dredge fell out of the metal, so Graveyard Hate is weaker. Of course, I should say that. Yes, we wouldn't be playing this deck if there wasn't if there was a ton of really relevant Graveyard Hate. You don't want to play Dredge, but there's more to it too, where normal Dredge is just genuinely too slow in this format. But this deck has some turn 3 kills. It kills turn 4 very consistently. It kind of ignores the board and either flies at the top or just burns them. Like, this dynamic, I think, is really, really relevant compared to more traditional Dredge builds, for whatever that's worth. This is the sign to unban Troll again. I think it's called Rage Bait now. The kids are calling it. Like, might be Silent Boros. Yeah, the Conflagrates help against Boros a lot, for whatever that's worth. You have to win game 1 against Boros. That is the reason we're main decking for. We have also not played against Boros. I thought we played against earlier, but it was like a weird mashup of Blink and Boros. So it looks like we're playing against it now, so we get to hopefully get some reps in against it. Okay, we find a Dredger, thankfully. Drawing a land next turn would be really nice, so we can Looting and Reunion. Yeah, we won the die roll. Okay, so die roll streak officially broken against Boros. Drew Creeping Shell. Yeah, I still might cast the dart from my hand this game. Wow, we miss on the any more dredgers again. So we could lava dart to bring back 2 phoenixes. We could discard 2 lava darts and kill the guide and bring back 2 phoenixes. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Although I guess if I do that, I have to. I don't discard the imp. That's okay though, because I can discard it to the Ox or the Reunion next turn. But it does seem like killing the guide is gonna be important. This spot I do think it's better to keep the wide source because we're gonna draw a card next turn. We also have 4 Conflagrates to mill over here, which can get some work done. The last prediction yesterday, I could pay out, my points are gone. Well, we did 3-2 the last league, right? That's what I redeemed. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. How does Conflagrate help against Boros? Well, they put a lot of creatures into play, and then you kill all of them. You kill their guys and their prizes and their Johnnies. Listen, if Conflagrate isn't good against Boros, then we got some fish to fry. Alright, I'm gonna discard an imp. I gotta get, it has to be imp and looting, right? We have 3 creepy chills in the deck because we unfortunately drew 1. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we still have 3 creepy chills in the deck. That's okay. We'll find them. Next turn we can Conflagrate for 6 and double Lava Dart, assuming we do nothing else. We also have the option to Ox of Agonas, which should be able to get all of the rest of our creeping chills. It does seem like our opponent has a Galvanic Discharge here for whatever that's worth. I guess not. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't cast it if they had it. So hard to say, but it looks like we could just go Ox of Agonas into. So we get to dredge the Thug for 4, and then we get to dredge 3 more times off the Imp, and then we get to flashback 3 darts to bring back all the Phoenixes. I have a hard time imagining that's not lethal. I think it was a 4 on so good. If I paid it out wrong, I am sincerely sorry, but I did think it was not. So I guess it's better to Cathartic Reunion since that's another spell, and I don't have to discard my whole hand. I guess I should get a mountain and play now though. I do. They are at 2, and I have 2 lava darts in the yard, so things are looking pretty good, one way or the other. All right. Dead. Okay, so against Boros, they have some kind of it's usually artifact-based graveyard hate. So let's bring in a Gemstone Caverns over a fetch land. And then let's bring in 3 Ancient Grudges. Now, I think we want to be going down to Thug and Ox and a Conflagrate. Despite this being good against Boros, I think that we still have 3 in the deck, and I think you just have to dilute the deck a little bit with Grudge, and these are just usually the cards I've been cutting. So let's submit this. There's also Thraben Charms. Thraben Charms are tougher to play around. So Dark Blast could be good. I'm interested in not playing a Blood Crypt, is my current attitude. But I don't know. Maybe the Blood Crypt should be in the deck. Yeah, I don't think Dark Blast is particularly good either. We also have 4 Lava Darts in the deck, so we're pretty good at killing one toughness creatures anyways. The dirty Lava Dart, the only Modern Horizons card in the deck. I did last night, or maybe it was 2 nights. I've had this kind of ready to go since like Saturday, but I've been playing more off stream. But at one point, I cut a Lava Dart, and I never did that again. It felt really bad to cut a Lava Dart. Okay, keeping this on 5. Got to keep the Grudge. Would you be able to Loam Coliseum over without adding a Steam Vents? So Steam Vents has 2 problems. Steam Vents is not a mountain for Lava Dart. It also doesn't cast Thrilling Discovery. It is good with like Loam and Dredge and stuff, but it also conflicts with my philosophy still that the problem with Dredge as an archetype, this has been my philosophy, the problem with Dredge as an archetype is that you are too slow and too dirtily and too grindy. You need to be fast. And that seems like you're moving in a direction I wouldn't want to be moving in there. Oh, hit another imp. Nice. And a thug. And a chill. And so we also have 2 phoenixes right now. So we could go all in. We haven't really had a draw like this, but this is a draw where I can go dart the guide twice, and then I'm just all in on phoenixes plus incidental creeping chills. Which I think this is something I want to do in a sideboard game. I think in a game 1 I'm never doing this, but in a sideboard game where my opponent can untap and Thraben Charm me, I'm gonna be all in here. And if I can hit them with the phoenixes again, they're just dead to a single creeping chill. We could also take some draws, but we're not that like most of our lands are already in the yard. I feel like they have the Thraben Charm. They do keep a card on top because they do have a discharge. They have 2 discharges? Okay. Arclight not as good against 2 discharges. Fun to be all in. Okay, we have no more dredges in the yard officially. Thankfully not a Flage. Nor did they discard a Flage. We draw a land. Let's go ahead and still discard the Imp here. And now we have the ability to find 2 creeping chills and flashback the dart. Literal manaless dredge here. So I'm down to 18. Thraben Charm? Seems like they have the Thraben Charm. And then they're deciding to hold it up instead. Okay, and it's great for us that they're doing this now instead of in response to the creeping chills. So let's see if we draw another land, or if I have another surveil land still in the deck. I do have another surveil land, so yeah, let's try to surveil into another land here. Yeah, creeping chill is not a cast, so it does not stop multiple creeping chills. They are down to 6, so now the creeping chills can get the job done. They're looking for Flage or Graveyard Hate. Maybe they would keep a Johnny, or I guess Guide of Soul. There's cards. There's cards. They do keep a card on top. Probably the best for me. They can't play another spell. I'm gonna be dead next turn, but if we do surveil into a land here, we are very likely to find 2 more creeping chills to kill them. We still have 3 in the deck. We just need to find 2. We get a lot of looks. So 2 looks at the land. That's the harder thing to hit. Okay, do we want to keep this? We only have 1 dredger in the graveyard. I think we don't keep this. It's I think even if we okay, well we drew looting anyways. We're just not that likely to hit 2 chills off the looting. In this deck, oh sorry, I was looking at my freaking I mean, not that we were gonna do anything else. For some reason I thought we still had an imp in the yard. Okay, we are dead. Let's go to game 3. Yeah, that's like, I mean, it doesn't change anything. Do you sideboard payoffs over creeping chill? I mean, so I never sideboard out creeping chill in this deck. This is a burn deck, and chill is just like your best burn card. I'd more so trim on like the thugs and the conflagrates and the ox. Is High Noon any good against Dredge? It's probably not good against traditional Dredge, but we are an Arclight Phoenix deck, so High Noon in play means I cannot Arclight Phoenix you. I'm okay with High Noon though. I don't think I want to be bringing in the Nature's Claims. I'm okay just trying to like bird them through it. Glad you're still liking the stream. It is September. Discount on subscriptions this month. The opponent's rethinking their sideboard plan here. Maybe boarding out the High Noon. Roger the 25, thank you, welcome back. We are on the play for game 3. All right, can't say no to this one. So let's not. Opponent's thinking about their 7. Hard to imagine they've got a good graveyard hate card in their hand if they're thinking. Maybe they have like a 1-land Thraben Charm hand though. They do keep their 7. Good to find another land, so let's discard Loam, Conflag. Yeah, it is possible to have a turn 2 kill with this deck. You have to get very lucky. You can discard the Grudge, because if they have a single use grade, I guess they could Soul Guide Lantern target the Grudge, which would be awkward. So I have 1 Phoenix, 1 Dart. I've cast 1 spell. They have Surgical Extraction. I have considered using Burning Inquiry. I haven't thought about going that far blue where you're playing Colosseum. So you cut the Thrilling Discovery and play Burning Inquiry, Colosseum, and Gaze. I mean, that's more cuts than more bring-ins than you're having cuts. Could be fine though. Could be fine. As a long time Otherworldly Gaze hater, this is certainly the best one, the best deck for it. So they graveyard a Goblin Bombardment after some thought here. It does seem like they've got Surgical Extraction in their hand. They play into Johnny. Could maybe kill that with Conflag this turn. Seems like I want to Thrilling Discovery. While the coast is kind of clear from Thraben Charm. So I have only 2 Phoenixes. I think that they have Surgical in the hand. So I think we're just chilling and trying to Conflag for like 7 next turn. Maybe we could also go Loam into Looting. And set up for like Loam into Conflag the following turn if we wanted. Loam into Looting is nice too, because I can also like maybe make them use the Surgicals. The Surgical, assuming that they have it. They paused like they have it at the very least. So here's another Creeping Chill. I have one of those left in the deck. If they Surely if they had Thraben Charm, they would have cast it already. And no, I'm not going to call you Shirley. A bunch of random 3/3 should be strong here. Okay, what are you cutting for them? I would love for boards to just randomly have a bunch of 3/3s. I agree. You do have to put them in the deck though. Okay, so let's go for lethal. I do think they have Surgical. They're pausing a lot. Like, it's gonna be very tough to beat it. I think if we make them use it, then we can Conflagrate for 8 next turn though, and they're gonna be at 8 after they lose 2 to Surgical and they gain 1 life off the Pride. So to me, it seems worth like we should go for it here. They do Surgical. We have Conflagrate for X for 8. They're gonna be at 8, so we can't beat a lot else. We do have 1 more Creeping Chill in the deck, so I guess we have almost a 50% chance of hitting it next turn too if they gain like 3 life off of a Flage. Oh, it's have 2 darts. Okay, we actually beat a Flage because they go -1. Okay, we can't Arena of Glory doesn't work. Oh no, but they're casting Discharge so they can Arena of Glory the Flage. Oh my gosh. Stupid Surveil lands. Yeah, maybe they don't have it. Every moment that no arena is played, it's much less likely they have it. But maybe they're just trying to count if they have lethal, which they shouldn't have lethal here. We have 10 damage next turn. So we can beat a non-arena Flage, and we can't beat an arena Flage. No, so we can beat arena Flage if we hit Creeping Chill actually. Okay. They plus, so now that's 2 life for them. Can we Dart Pride? We could, but then we can Conflagrate for less and deal them less. It's more damage, right? Because we get to discard another card and we get to dart them. It's at the very least the same if it's not more. It does seem like I miscounted, actually. So maybe Darting Pride was right, but... They give us the sad face, which is what we want to see. Nice Surgical Extraction. Yeah, I should have thought more about Dark Pride, but that's back-to-back 4-1s. It's back-to-back 4-1s. Let's get it, pay out the Believers this time. Now, do y'all want to see one more league of this? I'm interested in playing another league, but I don't know how over it y'all are. I also have this.